Hey, on my Travel Ones podcast today, I'm lucky to have PaDre Holmes. How are you today, PaDre?
I'm doing good, brother. How are you?
Doing very well. Appreciate the time. I know you're, you, like everyone else I talk to, is hard to get a hold of.
Oh, boy. Sorry about that.
No. Hey, I always joke. I said, I love talking to people that travel for work. Unfortunately, they're always, a lot of times traveling for their work.
This is true.
So it's the quandary I put myself in.
Yeah. Glutton for punishment, clearly.
You ain't kidding. Well, between that, because I travel as well for my work.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of it is just scheduling. I mean, I know you know that.
Yeah, amen. Yeah, and I suck at it, but, it's still part of my reality, unfortunately.
Well, for those of you who don't know, PaDre is a musician. I'll just leave it at that.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding.
That works.
A musician extraordinaire. I say that for people that play more than one instrument.
Right on.
How many instruments do you play well?
Yikes. 0. How many instruments do I attempt to play?
Don't tell your boss that.
Yeah, right. Well, I think that cat's out of the bag either way. Talking about gluttons for punishment. So, no, let's see. The instruments that definitely bass, and I'd probably consider myself first and foremost a bass player, and guitar, and
if you listen to any of PaDre's music, you will hear the bass line very well.
Yay! That's true. It's probably it's probably cranked into the mix a bit too loud, but bass.
I love the bass, so I'm good with that.
Amen. Right on. And bass and guitar, and then keys / piano a little bit, and I play a little 3-valve brass, so trumpet, French horn, and other little bitty, different things that are other keyboard instruments and stringed instruments. I kind of dabble with. Yeah, I dabble, but I get paid mostly for bass, guitar, keyboards, and trumpet.
Right, and then you sing as well.
I sing as well, yeah, and I dance around the stage and flop around like an idiot.
Well, yeah, but you do that for free.
Yeah. Oh no, that's for me. That's
extra. You don't charge extra for that.
No, I don't. That's included with the price of admission.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So do you still have MOG?
Yeah, MOG exists in some form. Yeah, in the universe, mostly in my head.
Yeah, exactly.
And on a very slight slice of the internet.
I hear you. But on SoundCloud you can hear PaDre's music.
Yeah, scattered abroad there. Yep, it's a little on, and there's some episodes, funny little episodes that we did on YouTube. One's called the Smoketown Chronicles, Multitude of Girls.
The Roseanne episode was awesome.
Oh, really? Did you do like that? Nice. And then we have Get to Know Multitude of Girls, Get to Know MOG, and I just watched those for the first time in years, and man, it made me miss those guys so much. We're still in touch with each other, we're still friends, and we really still want to get out there and play. So who knows what the future holds? Who knows?
Well, you play well, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, which is oftentimes. But it seems like you play when you're a hired gun. You play a lot of soul, a lot of kind of heavy pop, but a soul pop. Whereas your MOG and your own personal stuff, I can consider more rock pop almost.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm a rocker. At heart, for sure. But to pay the bills. I mean, but thankfully, I've been blessed to work with organizations for the most part. So bands, being a band member. Yeah. So with Fishbone, I was a member of Fishbone, which is great. It's part of the familyhood during the time that Dirty Walt wasn't there. And so that was trumpet. Played trumpet, and we all played a little bit of everything. So I'd play a little keyboards and a little guitar, and lots of singing and stage diving. So that was a membership, and then like hired gun would be like, Mariah Carey. I did like some work with
Macy Gray.
Yeah, Macy Gray, absolutely. But again, Macy, it feels like family there. That's Macy has become. She's just an amazing artist, as everyone knows, but she's an amazing human being, and she really kind of helped me out and went out of her way during a pretty dark period in my life. And so I'll always be grateful for her. Like, she's just incredibly gracious and a beautiful, beautiful soul and an amazing artist. I can't speak enough.
Yeah.
So I don't even feel like, I don't know. It's just like, she's like my sister. I love her.
I hear you. That's a good person to work with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so much fun. I'm talking about, she makes travel fun. She really loves, she's a hard worker. She's very demanding, but, it's to get the result that she's looking for. And when she has it, she knows how to maintain it, but she also knows how to keep the atmosphere just conducive for artists. And, it's like a dance party, literally, before we go out on stage, like swing dancing and it's just amazing, the energy and the vibe that she brings, and toasting champagne at the Eiffel Tower, and she's quick to pull out a couple of bottles of champagne. It's amazing. And no one complains.
I was going to say, no one's arguing that.
No way, indeed. So good times, yeah.
And then most recently, I've seen you on the road a lot with Morris Day and the Time.
Yeah. And again, that's another membership. So just thankful and blessed. And, I've been working with those guys off and on for 15 years. And Morris, made me an offer, and just really, I can't be more grateful. Prince is the reason I play music. I mean, honestly, I wasn't interested in music. We listened to music all of my life, but it wasn't until I was 12 years old I heard my oldest brother listening to a Prince album. It was Graffiti Bridge. And And I just kind of stood outside and he didn't let him see me. I stood out the side of his door. I just listened. And I had never heard anything like this. And when the song was over, it was Thieves in the Temple, by the way, off of, so I walked into the room and I said, what was that? Yeah. And he said, that was Prince. And you don't know Prince, man? I said, no. He said, yeah, man, he writes all his lyrics. He played all the instruments. He's singing. He does and that concept, I had never, was not even something that I had imagined was possible. I didn't even think that something like that was possible. So immediately I wanted to play the guitar. And we had a piano in the house, so I kind of took that a little more seriously. And my parents were super awesome, still are amazing people, and they saw that I was kind of gravitating to this, and they supported me, which is the best thing they could have done for me, and which is what makes them awesome, incredible, beautiful people and parents. I was very fortunate to have them. And they bought me a bass guitar, and they bought me a guitar. And then they let me set up a drum set in my room upstairs in my house and play the drums. So I also played drums, and I played drums for my church, and then I played the bass for my church. So I grew up in church playing music, and, I just didn't, after that point, I just never looked back. I took the blinders off. The blinders were off, and I just didn't say no. I just embraced everything. If it made a noise, I was playing it. And I just didn't think twice about it and never stopped, really. I haven't stopped.
But, it's interesting because Prince, like you, and I think a lot of casual fans don't realize this, but he played all the instruments.
Absolutely.
and so he wasn't just a singer. He was, he literally, I think on Purple Rain, he played all the instruments.
Purple Rain was with.
Or was it the one before?
With that's with the Revolution.
The Revolution, yeah,
and the one before that was 1999. That was the introduction of the Revolution. Although because he had a backing band even from the original. Now the original album, those first couple of albums, really the first 4 albums, are primarily, or if not exclusively, Prince. So we're talking For You, Prince, Dirty Mind, and Controversy. That's, those were recorded by Prince basically in a basement up in Minneapolis. For the most part. So yes, he's a genius. He was singing all those parts. He was playing the drums, playing all the rhythm guitar parts, which he's a genius rhythm guitar player. Just have to say that. Playing all of the lead guitar parts, bass parts, keyboard parts, writing it all. And he started doing that album when he was 17. It came out when he recorded it. I think he was actually 19. Just unheard of at that time. But to perform, he can't do all of that on stage. Yeah. So he had a backing band, which was basically the Revolution. From day one.
Andre Simone and
yes, absolutely, and Bobby Z on drums, and when did Dez come in, or maybe, and then Brown. I shouldn't flub on these names, so I should stop. But but those are, and Gail Chapman. Oh gosh, I know the names, but I just don't want to say the wrong stuff when I'm talking about royalty.
Kind of interesting that you became a musician because of Prince, who I'm sure when you were listening to him, you didn't realize he was the instrumentation behind everything as well. But yet you became that way as well.
Well, no, I can't. I think my brother, when he told me what he did, that was it. I was going for it. No, I realized it, and I idolized it, and I wanted to emulate it. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to do that because and it's not for any reason or goal other than I connected with it. There was something about the way he played music, the way he presented music that I connected with. I liked music. We listened to a lot of music, but I never wanted to be a musician or play music or create music until I saw Prince, and then I just whatever I had to do to do it. I just wanted to be around music from that moment on, and I just surrounded myself with musicians, older musicians, and then, but no, I never thought of it like, I don't know, it's weird. I was just doing it. I wasn't doing it and analyzing it. I was just a kid, just doing it.
And so you're still just a kid, just still doing it.
Still just a kid doing it and playing Prince's music. Got to hang out with Prince at his house. Just different private events.
Crazy.
It's just amazing, like one-on-one private events that he would kind of host just so he could have friends around. It was amazing, and to still be able to play his music today, and it's in tribute and really to continue the legacy. Morris is the the continuance of that entire legacy. The Times' first album came out in 1981, the year I was born, 38 years ago. So and they were really one of my favorite bands when I was a kid, because of course Prince he recorded that album too. Like the first Time album is really just Prince and Morris. Prince is doing all of the instruments, singing many of the backgrounds, and Morris is singing primarily just the lead parts. Morris plays drums too. Maybe Morris played drums on that as well. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But so to still be able to play those songs that Prince wrote in 1981, like Get It Up, and it's just
that's a great song.
Oh man, it's. That's when I'm a little kid still doing it. It's just amazing. And Morris pays me to do it, so that makes it nice.
What's crazy is my wife is a huge Morris Day fan.
Really?
the reason I contacted you again today was we were driving down to the beach, and my wife's like, I wonder if Morris Day's ever going to come back around. And I'm like, let me see what's going on with PaDre. Let me check it out. So she's
nice.
A huge fan. Yeah.
That's great. Did she get a chance to see us on CBS this past Monday?
We don't have cable TV anymore.
Well, that's okay because it's posted. I posted it. It's on my YouTube.
Okay. So
I'll send you a link, or actually, my website is like my portfolio, basically, like an EPK, is PaDreHolmes.wordpress.com. And if you go there, you'll see there. Actually, the performance is the first video there.
I did see it. I watched that.
Great. That was live this past Monday. So that was
wow.
Yeah. So we're on a promotional tour with that kind of stuff. Morris, he did Jimmy Kimmel the other night with Snoop Dogg, which is amazing. Has a new single out with Snoop Dogg.
You were on not was it The View or not The View?
Yeah, The Talk.
The Talk, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I saw some of your performances with Macy Gray on your page. And all
Yep. Got some of those things.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. Just a couple collections of, different YouTube videos that people have made,
Sure.
Somebody posts. So just kind of collected them just to, promote myself. So if anyone's hiring.
Well, let me ask you this question.
A musician. Yeah.
We're getting close to the end of the year.
Yeah.
How much traveling have you done this year alone?
Quite a bit. This year has been really good. Yeah. Japan was, I think, the highlight. Went to Canada a couple times. Just came back from Mexico. But, going on tour in Japan and being in Tokyo and playing Osaka was just absolutely amazing. It was. I've always wanted. It's my first time, so I always wanted to go. And we were so well received, and just the fandom over there is off the charts. The last time the band played in Japan, I think, was either 1991 or 1993. Not sure.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, but I tell you what, fans were there with the playbills, with the record, with all for the band to sign. And from that tour, from the 93 or 91 tour, they had it in pristine condition, and they brought them to the show. It was amazing. They brought them to the airport. They brought them to the hotel. People made gifts. They made handmade, like, knitting and things that they were giving to us. It was absolutely amazing the way they care and love and appreciate over there. And, for such a stoic society, they're very, they party. Oh, very reserved. Thank you. Yeah. They let loose when the show is going on. It was a party from the beginning to the end. It was amazing.
I was going to ask, because that's one thing. My wife and I want to go to Tokyo next year.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of us have been. So
wow.
We're getting excited. When you got to go, do you get any free time to walk around and see the sights, or is it pretty much a work trip and you're just hitting it and going?
Tons of free time, like I told you.
Cool.
That's the good thing about these guys. Things aren't done in a rush too much. So we had plenty of days off to get there, kind of get adjusted, walk around. I mean, I was all over that place.
Awesome.
And it was great. I just have nothing but good things to say about it. So yeah, plenty of time off, plenty of time for sightseeing and meeting people, and oh man, it was great.
That's so neat to hear that Morris gives you time. I just wonder, as you get older, you I think you start appreciating. Like
certainly
when I was younger, I went to some cool places, but I never saw them.
Right.
It was like, let me get I'm here for work, man. So let me get in, let me get out.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, let me see what's in Louisville. You know, oh, the Muhammad Ali Museum's there. Oh, the Louisville Bat Company Museum's there. You know,
yeah,
let me go
absolutely.
check this stuff out.
That's right. That makes it so much more worthwhile and meaningful. You know, it's interesting. What was I going to say? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, you were so interesting in regaling me. Yeah, but you know, go ahead, please.
It's always strange when I'm interviewing people that I actually know. You know, as an old neighbor, I used to see coming in and out. It's as a musician, what are the biggest changes in travel for a musician over the last 20 years? Oh, that's kind of, you reminded me of what I was going to say too. Thanks. You're really good at this. You're really good. What's changed really is the TSA wasn't around for in the beginning. Like airports were, it wasn't such a, you know, thank God for him. I mean, you know, hey, gosh, bless him. But damn.
Yeah, man. Ooh, baby bird, let me tell you. So, you know, really, I remember when, let's say, we played a show and we're flying home tomorrow, right? With the time, we mostly do fly dates, which is just brilliant, you know. You kind of fly out, you do a couple shows, and you fly back home, and everything's all good.
Yeah.
And so let's say I had a flight, my itinerary was booked at 6 a.m. And, you know, I don't want to wake up at 4:30 and go to the airport. And, you know, I want to sleep in. I'll get a late checkout, and I could look and see what the next flights were and call the airline. Or actually, you didn't even have to call. You show up. Yeah. And if you were booked that day, they'd put you standby on the next thing smoking. And it was brilliant. And those days are gone. And I do miss those days because now if I have a 6 a.m. flight, my alarm is going off at 4:15. I am heading down to the lobby, headed to the airport. And, you know, because if you want to change something, there's a rebooking fee, stocking fee, restock. Like what? It's just ridiculous. I had a friend. He's a comedian, stand-up comedian. And he does the cruises. Okay, yeah. So like I don't want to say, I forget, I don't know if it's Princess or Carnival or one of those, but they'll fly him to Jamaica, and then he'll do the route coming back to Texas or Florida or wherever they go. Yeah. And so he goes, this was this week, I think it was on Tuesday or Wednesday, he complained on Facebook and on Twitter about this airline, I won't say the name. Okay. But basically, they let him go a day early because sometimes he'll go from Texas to Jamaica, then they'll fly him back. Okay. So his daughter was having an event, and he wanted to go, and they allowed it. So he needed to come home a day early. Okay. Well, sure, yes, sir, you can do that for an extra $250. Oh. We'll let you, you know. So you already paid the $275 for your first flight. Yeah. Now, if you just pay an extra $250, we'll go ahead and let you come home a day early. Like, yeah, isn't that ridiculous? It's like, so the airline actually got back to him on his Twitter feed. Well, we have and this guy's he's a stand-up comedian. He travels around the world. Okay, right. Very frequent flyer. Yes. And he goes, I'm already a platinum priority member, but I'm still trying to save money. So I didn't. You know, he goes, so yeah, if I paid the upgrade, but then to allow that freedom, you have to pay the money anyways, even if you don't use it. So basically, he was just stuck, just like you were just talking about. Yeah, it's a scam. It's disappointing. So I think those are the biggest changes. The thing that's the same is, and I really do prefer. I love, you know, being on the bus. I love bus tours. It's just so much fun. It's because you're in your house, you know, and the bus really does become your home. We treat it like our house. you protect it, because everyone's life and livelihood, it's on that. Yeah. So, and we're living together. And so there are responsibilities, there are chores, but, we all live together. And that's a bonding and a camaraderie that is just, it's amazing.
It's communal. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's so cool. I just love that. And I like to float around between the little pods of people, I
was going to ask you, what do you get used to the submarine bedding? That's what I call it.
Oh, yeah, it is. But, it's really nice nowadays. They have, you have your Netflix, kind of like your personal entertainment systems in each bunk. So the whole bus is on Wi-Fi, so you can stream,
whatever you need.
So your computer. I just sit in my bunk and I have my guitar in my bunk, plenty of bottled water, and vitamin C, and hand sanitizer, and my laptop, and that's pretty much my bunk. And I can sit in there and just watch Netflix or get out and mingle. And, of course, every now and then you sleep.
Yeah. And wake up in a completely different state.
Yeah, and check into a hotel that you just, it's so weird. And then, if you're in a big city, if you're in Paris, the bus has to park 5 miles away. So you're waking up at 6 a.m. and scrambling to get your stuff together because you got to get off the bus and the bus has to leave. And, and if you forget anything, you'll see it tomorrow.
Well, I remember my daughter told me when she went on tour with the people she worked with, it was they had a day of travel and then a day of the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
that's generally how it goes.
They would, I don't think people understand. It's like they would get on the bus to leave like 2-3 in the morning.
Oh yeah, that's usually when bus call is. Yep. That's the witching hour.
Yeah, and then you sleep for 6 to 8 hours or whatever,
or do whatever you do on the bus.
Yeah.
Usually unwind from the gig.
Well, that's just it. It's not like you're on stage playing in front of a couple thousand people and then you just get on the bus and fall asleep.
No. Oh no, you're amped. Oh my gosh. Hello, we do this for the applause, baby birds. Yeah. We do it for the applause, and when that's a high. It takes a while to come down from that, and it's a beautiful thing because it's pure, it's organic. It's
organic endorphins, yeah,
absolutely, and your brain chemistry is just firing, and you're just talking about the show, maybe looking at photos, looking at video. As vain as it may sound, we like what we do too. I'm just saying, we're putting on the show. We fancy the show too.
Yeah.
So, we like to kind of listen back and go, sounding good, boys.
Or,
ooh.
Oh, the soundboard went out that time.
Yeah, it's fun. That's a lot of fun. And again, Macy, she makes it really fun. It's a great co-ed environment because we have background singers and we're all one big family on the bus. We're carnies. I think traveling musicians, I've always called us carnies. We have a traveling show. We literally, people promote with playbills around town that the show is coming to town. You arrive to town, you see the playbills for your show. You see them in every town you go to, and you go to the venue and your name's on the marquee, and they have everything set up and ready for you, and you guys bring your stuff in and you set up your special show. People pay the ticket price. They come in. We do a show, song and dance, literally, and pack it all up. And we hit the road and go on to the next town. That's a traveling circus. We have a show, we'll travel. And I frankly, I love it.
Yeah, I always tell people, I'm an outside traveling sales rep, but I always tell people I drive for a living and I do appointments in between.
Mm-hmm. I tell people that they pay me for the travel.
Yeah.
They don't pay me, like, especially with the fly dates. They don't pay me to play the music. I do that. That's my joy. They pay me to wake up again at 6 a.m., jump into the limo, transportation, airport, next city, limo, hotel, unpacking, getting your suit ready. That's what they pay me for, and then 4:00 lobby the next morning. So you go, you play your show. But I was going to say, though, to bring me back to an earlier point, one of the beautiful luxuries, I don't want to paint a dark cloud over this, because really I often joke to people that being a touring musician is like having 22 hours of absolutely nothing to do all day. And then for 2 hours, you get to throw it all out there and do cartwheels, and you're just doing your thing, and you're playing loud and solos, and rock star. And then 22 hours of absolutely nothing, of like mind-numbing, like boredom almost. So, and of course that time is able to be filled with sightseeing and things like that. So I try to take advantage of local cultures wherever I am, and I love to meet people. So it's fun.
See, I'm the same way. The one thing I've learned with this podcast, Padre, is everyone that travels, whether you're an athlete, musician, comedian, anybody that travels, we all do kind of real similar things. Like this week, I did over 1,000 miles of California driving.
Ooh wee! Wow!
For literally 4 appointments.
Ooh.
And so I probably did 4, 5.
That sounds so old school and kind of romantic, though, dude. It's like that's like old school, like salesmen. That's like so cool. I don't know. Maybe that's in my mind, because it looks that way in the movies.
Yeah. But they don't show sitting on the 405 freeway for 2.5 hours tonight.
Yeah. I do know the pain of that thorn. I do know it well. Yeah. Trying to merge onto. Yeah. Go ahead. My appointment today. I literally, it was an important meeting I had today. I woke up at about 4:30 to try and get all my paperwork together and all. Literally prepared. Just like if you had a big concert or you're doing a Prince thing or something, you'd be nervous for it. And so I got up early. Got on my computer and started pounding things out for an hour meeting. That went exceptionally well. Great.
But literally the drive, I spent 2.5. I spent about just over 4 hours of driving for an hour appointment. I know the feeling. And talk about nervous. I really, it's funny you say that. I rarely do I get nervous anymore. I think I did all the shaking and shook all of that out when I was a kid playing in church. Thankfully, live performance twice a week in front of a crowd. It was that knows you.
The best training ground. Exactly. But like the thing that on the talk now, that's the only time where you try to relax into it, but there's a lot of thinking because it's live. You get one shot and it lives on forever, and it's loud, and so
it's not set up necessarily for music. I mean, it's not it's not a
but
it's a sound stage.
Yeah, exactly. But they're super professional, and the crews are great, so they make it as conducive as possible, which that obviously helps. But there's always those little butterflies that are there, I think for good reason, to really keep you on your toes and keep you sharp. That's the time that if there's any time, it's like, well, this one counts. With a live show, thousands of people, it's so loud. It's something, if you miss something or you didn't play that part, that goes by so fast that no one in the whole course of a full show, no one even knows, or could even possibly know, really.
How much? Can I ask you a musician question?
Yeah, sure.
I go to a show, right, and I go, God, that was awesome. But as a musician, you go and go, oh man, we messed up that bridge or that chorus, and we kind of hit that wrong. Or do you do that still, or is it just like we did the best we could and we had fun doing it?
Probably a healthy mix. I would like to hope it's a healthy mix of both.
Okay. Because to me it sounds great. Because I don't know, I don't play an instrument.
Yeah, well, you're always critical, and that's the beauty of live music, and that's one thing that Morris says a lot. If something doesn't go off as planned, let's say that, there's never really any train wrecks. I mean, he pays us. You're with him
for a reason.
Yeah. You want to feel confident in your ability to do the show, pretty much no matter what. But there's always nuances that, we kind of know something didn't happen. Sometimes the gear doesn't work. I've had keyboards go out on me. We use backline gear, which is rented gear. So we show up in every different city.
Their stuff.
Now they have to, we send ahead. We have a person who advances the show, obviously. So they know exactly which keyboards to have, and everything is there to our specifications, down to every cymbal and every little trinket has to be, or we don't do the show, right? So that's part of the promoter's job, is to make sure they fulfill everything. But, of course, this is a piece of equipment that other people use. You hope that the backline company takes care of it, and for the most part, they do. But it's a piece of equipment. It's an electronic thing, and sometimes they just go out, and when that happens live on stage, you just got to keep going. You got to work around it, and the show is happening, and so when you leave the stage on those nights, of course, you're just like, I mean, of course, you hate that. I hate it for the crowd. I hate it for the audience. That's me personally. Now, there is not a single soul in that audience. They're out there dancing, singing along. They didn't hear they didn't know that the bass Nord dropped out at this point in the song. It's
exactly.
It's like they're not. So we're critical of our performance, sure, but at the same time, there's that confidence of, I hate that, but it's never a train wreck. Never a train wreck. So. But those are disappointing moments. You hate for those things to happen. That's probably the most common thing. But nobody really, messes up like that's kind of.
That's similar to my world, because my wife's like, hold on, you've been in sales for 30 years. You've been dealing with your big account for over 10 years. You know them personally. Why are you getting up at 4:30 in the morning and stressing about it?
Yeah.
They're like, well, because that's how I feel.
You care. Because you care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll make mistakes. I'll be in a meeting and I'll go, oh, I should have said that, or I'm going to have to come back to that, or and I know most of the people I deal with don't care, because they know it's going to work itself out, or they just didn't catch it, But I'll be like, oh man, I got to get back to that.
Right.
Kind of like what you go through.
Sure.
And then we always review. When our VP of sales will come out and do meetings with me, I'll go, hey, so what did I need to do better? What did I miss? What did I, and he's younger than me with less experience than me. I still ask him.
Yeah, to stay sharp. You want to stay sharp, and that's. I mean, these guys really keep me sharp, and I love.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
that's not what keeps you sharp, PaDre. Wearing that suit and the fedora, that keeps you sharp, man. Come on, man.
Cheers, mate.
You guys look, if nothing else, you look good.
Cheers. There you go. Half the battle.
Man, y'all look good up there, though.
Thank you. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's a good looking band, it's a well dressed band, and that feels good. There's a psychological thing, just like when you put on a suit or you put on nice clothes, there's a brain chemistry change there. Well, it's the same, because we're just humans putting on suits, and we look good when we take the stage, and we look good as a unit taking the stage. So there's a communal kind of kind of togetherness there. I don't know. It's like this intangible little whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I totally
blah,
agree.
blah, blah. Yeah.
And I can tell you as a fan, it works.
Right on.
Because, like I said, y'all look good up there. It's like, oh, you care. You know what I mean? It's like you're not just showing up and.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. And we try.
You can tell more. You can tell Morris I approve. How's that?
Okay. All right. I'm sure he's been waiting.
Yeah.
So, what a relief. Woo! Yeah. He could check that one off the list. All right. So Pete says it's okay.
Just so you know, Morris.
Yeah.
My friend Pete says we're doing all right. You may continue.
And thumbs up emoji.
Please don't tell him that.
Oh, trust me, I like my job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Couple other questions.
Yeah.
This might be a little tougher.
All right.
How do you balance relationships traveling as much as you do?
Yeah.
Mainly with your kids.
Yeah. Gifts, souvenirs,
and FaceTime. We talked about that earlier.
Of course.
Being able to FaceTime makes a huge difference now. I mean, when my kids were little, we didn't have cell phones. Mm-hmm. So how do you stay in touch with your kids? I felt guilty,
Mm-hmm.
like you even.
Definitely in the early years, there was a lot of guilt, and I got married when I was 19 years old, so I started touring when I was 22, full time. Those were hard. They were difficult tours. I mean, we were a young couple. We didn't have, we weren't financially secure or set yet. So this was back during those days where, there were a lot of stress factors, and me being gone on a snowboard tour with Fishbone was not an ingredient for, to make things easier. It definitely was difficult, and I remember all the awkward conversations going down the road. When you're in close quarters with a group of guys and you're on the phone. And you're young and you're arguing with your wife, but most of the guys are old enough to be my father, Yeah. It's just ridiculous. Like, it's just, it was tough. I don't miss those days. Things definitely got better. With the advent of technology and, of course, pay increases and and better paying gigs and things like that. That always helps the kind of smooth over.
Amazing how that works.
Yeah, it's amazing. The higher profile the gig, it somehow and then being able to bring the family out or take, for my kids to come out to a show. For my wife at the time would come to, come on cruises, like we were talking about the cruise, and, come out to shows in nice special places in Hawaii, things like that. That also helps. You got to throw those in there.
The bones.
That helps. The bones that give you another 4 months or so, and then you gotta have another good gig that you kind of,
Well, I always joke. I go, for some reason, my wife's always available when I have to go to Hawaii for work.
Yeah, and that's funny how that works.
What?
Yeah.
South Dakota?
Yeah, you sure you don't want to come to
South Dakota? Yeah. She was busy.
Yeah.
West Virginia, busy.
Busy. Well, funny. Really? Yeah.
Central Utah, busy.
No, she couldn't go to Salt Lake. Wow. Okay.
Hawaii, wide open.
Yeah. All week, the whole week.
Whenever you need me. I go, I don't know what I'm going. She goes, I'm still available.
So, there you go.
All right.
Yeah.
I see the road we're going down here.
That's right.
You as your kids have gotten older, at least your son,
mm-hmm.
do you think he understands and appreciates it more now, as versus he goes, hey, that's what my dad does? And
certainly, I think and he really doesn't know any different.
It's what you've always done. He's been alive.
His entire life. It's all he's ever known from me. So, and it's amazing. I was just texting him earlier. He's at a jazz vocal festival in California at some college out there. I can't remember the name of it. And he is he sent me a video of them performing, and they're there for 3 days. And I was joking with him. I said, "Wow, you're on the road." And he's kind of like, "Yeah," because they're staying in a hotel, they're performing, and I'm like, "Yeah, look at you." So, and he's amazing. They have an amazing group, Canyon High, out there in Canyon Country. Yeah. And he's in 2 of the jazz vocal ensembles. He sings bass. His name is PaDre Holmes. He's a amazing talent. He just sent me. I'll send you the video that he sent me, and I mean, the video speaks for itself.
Enough said.
Yeah.
I'll send you some of. I think the last time you saw Allie, she was very, very maybe middle school. And I'll send you some of her music. See what you think.
Oh, I would love it. Oh, absolutely. PaDre is writing music and producing music, and he plays piano, he plays the bass, and he sings like nobody's business. But his mother is a singer too. She's an incredible singer. We toured and performed together as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I feel like I've taken way too much of your time, but
I've had a great time. I'm having a great time.
Love catching up with you.
Yeah, likewise.
What's the best way for people that want to see what you got going on, or how can they stay in touch with you?
Right now I primarily use, because I'm a curmudgeon, an old guy, Facebook. I really enjoy Facebook, and I use my personal page, but I'm about to cap out there. So I think I only have 50 more slots, and I don't know how long those will be available. So I'm going to switch over. That's at PaDre Holmes, as a matter of fact. Here, let me, I don't want to tell you the wrong.
I'll put it on my website. I'll find it.
Right on, yeah. So, cool. Yeah, but the one that's at Facebook/PaDre Holmes. But the one that I'm going to go over to is my band page. And, of course, my computer, I'm outside right now, and it's really cold. and the computer doesn't like it when it gets too cold, and it just froze. But it's PaDre Holmes, I believe, is my band page. And that's the one I'm going to basically have all of those from the personal page kind of migrate over to that. So the actual music profile. I think that's going to be the best place. And I also have an Instagram at PaDre Holmes 81.
And your website that we talked about earlier is padreholmes.wordpress.com.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. That has links to those social media. Yeah.
And I'll put all those links on my website so they can just go to my site and click on it.
Sweet.
They'll take them right to you.
I really appreciate that. I should go back and tidy things up on the digital front. Oh Lord,
I tell you, and we go back. This whole digital media thing blows me away. And we were talking about it earlier before we were recording, but my show's been listened to in 53 countries now.
Wow.
And
isn't that amazing?
I'm literally an idiot sitting on my phone talking to people I'd like to talk to.
Oh my gosh, good for you. Good for you.
And you've been around. Somebody in the country of Kiribati just listened to my show.
Where is that?
I had to Google it.
Where is that?
It's a country made up of 33 atolls in Micronesia.
Wow.
It's the only country that is divided into into four hemispheres. The international date line goes right through the country, through some of the islands.
Wait, whoa.
So you could be on one island right here, and it's Tuesday. You take a boat to the island next to you, and it's Wednesday over there.
Okay. Wow.
And so part of the country is north of the equator, some of the islands, and some of the islands are south of the equator.
Man.
And like I said, I'm like, why would somebody in Kiribati listen to my crazy podcast show? You know what I mean? Like,
that's the world we live in. That's amazing. I mean, it's so small. The world truly has shrunk in a major way. Is it shrunk or shrank? Which one is it?
Yes. I'm with you.
Well played, sir. You tossed that one right back over the net to me. Thanks. Oh boy,
I'll let you look that one up later.
Yeah, thanks.
You're most welcome. But yeah, I just think that like, you know, that's the digital world we live in. You know.
Yeah,
and more power to take
that our kids and that new, you know, this generation of kids are growing up in, and now there's almost two generations now that are growing up with the screens.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, you
know,
amazing.
I'll tell you something though.
Yeah,
and I'm in my 50s.
Yeah,
and you know, in the work world, I'm getting to that point where I'm too old. It's getting to the part where I'm either going to, if I ever have to go get a new job, I'm going to be either too experienced, too old, or want too much money.
Yeah.
The difference is my phone, Padre, does not know how old I am.
There you go. And your voice does not tell your age.
So,
yeah, that's well, there you go.
That's the I could do this. I could do the podcast thing till I get tired of it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
As long as I keep interviewing great people like you.
Oh my gosh, I was going to say you got to pick that up, buddy.
Yeah.
You can do better.
As long as I keep interviewing great people and people listen to the show, it doesn't matter how old I am. They don't go, oh, he's too old to listen to. You know.
Hell no.
So that's the cool thing about, you know, I got tired of hearing all these 20-year-olds making a lot of money on their phones, and I'm like, well, I got 30 years of experience, so let me put something to it.
There you go, and that's using the tech, but it's all perspective. That's a healthy perspective that you have on it, and therefore you see it that way. You don't, you know, you could hang your head and say, oh, ageism is real. I'm aging out, you know. And just let the cynical, you know, just I hate cynicism.
I got friends like that.
Yeah, I really, that's one of my pet peeves. A buddy was asking me the other day, two friends, what do you hate the most, or what's your pet peeve? And I said racism and cynicism, because you know, just to go woe is me, and why even try? Why would I even try? I mean, I'm clearly too old, and look at the young, beautiful people. No one wants to. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't be around that energy. So yeah, it just sounds like you know, you're right on the money. You're doing that's right, dude. I love it. Go on, onward and upward, baby bird. Yes, I approve. Padre approves. Mama Bird stamps it. Bam.
I will go tell my wife when we hang up I can continue. Because Padre said so.
And if you go in that room and tell your wife that, I will personally kick you in the butt when I see you at the show.
You won't need to.
Good.
She'll do it for you.
All right, exactly. And that'll be right before I tell Morris that you said the suit's okay.
I approve of the suit.
Oh, gosh.
Man.
I had a great experiment I did with a group, a therapy group. Yes, like all rock stars, I too have had to go to therapy. But no, I'm just not ashamed of it at all.
I'm not even a rock star, and I've done it. So
yeah, there you go. Good man. Good on you. Smart man. So, one day we were having this kind of discussion similar to what we're talking about, and I just pulled up the terms and agreements for Snapchat, and I read them aloud. Not all of them, but everyone was amazed at I have a degree in media communications, so I kind of knew what I was talking about there, and they were astonished that anything they own your photo for life in perpetuity. They can use it for whatever they want. You sign away all rights to it before you can download, before the app, you can open up the app. And when it's looking at your face with all the doggy things and you're taking those photos with the ears on, you are losing your image. Now, as a professional, your face is your commodity. Right. That like your image is like my image is part of my worth. And to give it away like that so ignorantly is frightening. It's really frightening.
And it's just become the norm.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with it. And I have a Snapchat. Now, in full disclosure, I have Snapchat. I never use it. I've used it a few times when I was in Dubai, believe it or not.
Oh,
yeah, hanging out with these billionaire oil guys. They love Snapchat. And so we were snapping over there. It was an amazing time. But I haven't used it in years, honestly, because I'm just like, I'm not into that. I'm the same
way.
No, I can't do it.
The people I work with that are in their 20s, 3 years ago, grabbed my phone and put me on Snapchat. With the little, I don't know how they did it. Mm-hmm. And I haven't made
they're kids and they're young and they can do that.
I haven't made a snap in 2.5 years. Yeah. I did a few at the beginning. I was like, oh, okay, And I hold on, this is stupid. This is just another Instagram, but shorter.
Yeah, it makes no sense because it goes away. And I was like, what? I don't.
But does it really?
Like no, of course not. Of course not. But
it's somewhere.
Yeah, of course it is. They own it. They tell you they are going to keep it forever, and they can use it. They let you know. It's not. They're not. It's the human.
It just appears on your phone, but not on their computers.
Absolutely, and that to me is ridiculous because I had some really awesome, snaps from Dubai that I wish I had
access to. Yeah,
absolutely. And then
I totally agree.
I didn't know that they went away, and I got back to America and I was trying to show someone,
and they're gone,
and it was gone, and I went, well, what is that? What? Wait, what? What is? Okay, no.
So, same way. And so I keep it because the 4 or 5 people that originally put it on, I still watch what they do, but I haven't made a snap in probably 2.5 years.
I haven't even opened it up. I haven't even opened up the app except for that day at therapy. It was the first time I opened it in years, and I haven't opened it since then. I don't know, man. I'm with you. Well, I barely Instagram. Okay, yeah, okay.
I'll let you go. It's late where you're at. And then,
that's all good. Yeah,
although you are a rock star,
indeed.
So, late nights are no big deal for you.
Yeah, that's right.
My wife's made homemade cornbread, so I'm starting to smell it in the house.
Ooh, well, sir, you go and enjoy that.
Okay, cool, man.
Hey, brother, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, man. It's been a blast.
It's been awesome, and I so appreciate the time, man. That's the most valuable thing you have, and you just gave me some of it, so I really appreciate it.
Cheers. I really appreciate you, brother.
Have a great night, and I'll see you in about 10 days, bud.
Likewise. All right. See you there.
Okay. All right, PaDre.
Yep. Late.
On my Travel Wins podcast, I'm lucky to have PaDre Holmes. How are you today, PaDre? Hey, on my Travel Wins podcast today, I'm lucky to have PaDre Holmes. How are you today, PaDre?